Today as well, we will be not discussing the Newman tool because I want to discuss very important topics today. So Newman will be discussed Newman, and it's how to create reports from Newman, and importing, sharing, and exporting collections will be discussed tomorrow. So the first very important things I want to discuss today. Okay, first thing I want to know, like someone can explain how many layers are present in a software application or in a website. In creating a website, how many layers are present? How many stages are present? I can say how many stages are present or
The,
layers are present.
okay, there are three layers in your website basically. Like
Uh,
we can say three-tier architecture. Uh, First is from application side, it is client layer
mm,
and business logic or presentation layer or database. Third one is database layer, data
okay.
layer or database layer. You can say.
Okay. Where does the API fit in here?
API in it is the business logic business logic tier or it is the in between. It is the mediator between client and database.
May I explain, Ashish?
Yes, yes. Huh.
Okay. So API works on business logic and it enables systems or application to communicate with each other. Actually, it is a bridge between a client and a server. So
Mm,
by client, we send the request and
mm.
it processed by the API and it takes response from the server and get back to the client.
Okay, so this is a definition. This is a definition of an API, and
Hmm.
what Gautam said is very high level.
Hmm.
Client server architecture and
Hmm.
application layer, business logic, and all
Hmm.
these things. It's really hard for a new layman person. It's really hard to understand. Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
now I'll give an example. A restaurant. Okay,
Hmm.
let's say restaurant is our website or a web application. Now tell me how many layers are in the restaurant? How many
It is
stages
also
are?
three layers like
Three layers.
we are client and
Mm,
waiter is API and
mm.
like SAP is database or
Chef is database.
like server side it we can say.
What server side?
Not database
Mm,
like past if any customer came to a restaurant then waiter
mm,
takes the order and
mm,
he came to the kitchen or
mm,
whatever
mm,
I can say chef
mm.
and chef is preparing the dishes
Okay, what is
and
chef here then?
chef here is like business like he's preparing
Mm,
the food so
yeah. So what stage or what layer it is called as?
mm,
Okay, let me make it very clear. Okay, leave leave everything about this business logic and client and data and everything. Okay, leave and okay, I'll tell you. Okay, simple way. Okay, simple way. I'll explain. Let me share my screen. Yes, Nadia. Yes, you have a question? I think not. Okay. Uh, yes, yes, Nadia. Can you hear me?
I
Yes.
think Nadia is not able to talk as she is joined or campaign mode. So I think
Okay.
she has to rejoin again.
Yeah, Nadia, could you please rejoin? Could you please leave the session and rejoin? Okay. So this is all which we can say. Okay. Now, if we take a kitchen, okay, if we take a restaurant, okay, the places where the food is stored, where everything, salt, spices, everything is stored, that is called database layer. Okay, and the chef who is preparing everything, who is preparing your order, okay, that is called backend. And the waiter who is passing on the request and response is called an API. Okay, and the client who is eating the dish is called front end. We can go in a very simple manner. Okay, there are four layers. One is front end, one is back end, in between is API and database. That is all. Don't go with business logic, don't go with client server architecture. Architecture we really need not to discuss, we really need not to say it. It's, let's keep it very simple. Okay, we are not architecture, we are not art we are not architects, and we are not dealing about architecture level things here. Okay, if anyone asks, then you can say it's a client server architecture, API is a client server architecture. But web application or web software, any, will have four layers. One is backend, one is front end, API and database. That is all. Database where every data is stored, backend where a code is written to develop a software, to develop a web application. Then it's all backend. Okay, it's all done in backend, and we can use n number of programming languages like Python, Java, C sharp, and whatnot. We can use them. Then comes API. API uses languages like JSON or XML, okay, which is API. And then front end is what you see, like this website is a front end. That is all, that is all we can say. Okay, business logic, these all things, we are making ourselves complicated. We are really making ourselves complicated. Make it very simple. It's a client server architecture, and these are the layers. And if you know, you can tell the layers, or you can say we have a database layer and a backend and API, then front end. Okay, API is a middleware which connects a backend to the front end. Okay, that is all. That is more than enough. Or the documentation which I have provided, you can take an answer from the client server architecture, and you can provide the answer. Okay, and please do not say anything about business logic or something which makes our life tough. If someone asks a question on that, more questions on that, and if we don't know the clear answer, then we will be into trouble. Okay, so keep it very simple. Okay, now the next question is, uh okay, let's say uh we got a very new requirement. Let's say we got a requirement stating that we have to create a website. We have to create a website, and it's a food delivery app website. Okay, food delivery website. Okay, not application, food delivery website. Now everything has been discussed from client to the business analyst, and business analyst has described everything to the developer. Developer went ahead and developed the one part. I mean, only navigating. Okay, we decided one website link, and he created that particular website link, so that when a browser is opened, that website is we are navigating to that website, and we have okay, we have username, password and login, every information in that. Okay, now it has been developed. Only this area is developed for the first time. Now your manager will come and say, okay, this part, one of the part of the web application is developed. Now can you do automation testing on this? So what will be your answer on it? Anyone can say it. The front end is developed, we are able to navigate, and we can see username, password, sign in page, everything. Now manager has come to you and said, can you perform automation testing? Any tool, okay, any tool, it might be any tool, any language. What will be your answer?
It is already already developed or in
It is
staging.
developed. It's already developed.
Mm. So first we have to first manual, then we can go for automation. Na?
Why will you go for manual?
First we have to check edge testing standard. First we are done with manual, then it will come for automation.
What do you mean by testing standard?
Like first manual things are done, and if
Why
it is
exactly
more
manual
stable,
things are done? Why?
like all the things, like whatever it is developed,
Hmm.
so we have to check it by manually for this all the
Ashish,
functionalities are
Huh.
working or not.
we will ask for documentation.
No.
So
Documentation is provided. The documentation is provided. That is all done. That is all done. And the
means
website
to
is.
say
Uh,
requirements. So what
y-
the customer requirement?
yeah,
So
yeah.
we will
That is all
check. Hmm,
provided. Everything is
hmm,
done, and a website is given to you. Everything is
hmm,
all good. All good. Now,
hmm,
manager will ask you to perform perform performance automation testing. So
okay.
will Gautam said no, we will not go for automation testing. We will go
Hmm,
for manual testing, which is the correct answer, which is really a correct answer. Okay, but
hmm.
why manual testing?
Okay, because for there are lots of types of testing. Like we have smoke testing,
Hmm.
we have
We can
regression
do that in
testing.
automation as well.
No, actually it is done first manually, because if
Uh,
we are going for automation, if any
hmm.
changes or if any small bugs are came, then we lost our effort. Like all these things, we have to start from very beginning. So that is the one reason, and
You're almost near. Okay, see,
Hmm,
whenever an application
hmm,
or a new feature is developed, we have to do a build verification testing.
hmm,
What exactly is a build verification testing is, like we need to check, like if every part, every area, every feature is working as per the documentation. Okay,
yes,
for
and
that.
one more thing,
Hmm,
the application should be stable.
yes,
Like
yes.
yes,
then we can
that
go
is
for
smoke
automation.
Main
testing.
more
Yeah.
important thing is the application should be stable. So
Mm.
Hmm,
first you need to say to the manager, can we have a manual testing or manual test cases written for it? If
Mm.
we have manual
hmm,
test cases and manual testing is done, then we will decide which manual test cases we need to automate. Not all, not all should be
hmm,
automated as well.
Mm.
Which are the ones which needs to be automated? Okay, so this is a right approach, and it goes same for the APIs as well. When you have the APIs, when the developer gives you the APIs, first you need to do the manual testing, not the automation testing. You need to make sure that manually we are getting the right, we are inputting the right request, right body, and we are getting the right responses, we are getting the right information and everything. Okay, the right in the right information in the console, everything first manual should be done. And the only difference in APIs and in the UI testing is, in UI testing, the functional UI testing is, not all test cases, not all manual test cases are automated. But in API, all the test cases, all the manual test cases can be automated. Can be. But first, the base is manual testing. So now my next question is, who all worked on manual testing? I mean, any time in your career, have you ever worked on manual testing?
Yes.
Okay. Did you write a manual? Did you create test scenarios and test cases and did test execution?
Yes, I've
Oh,
created.
okay, good. So this is what I mean. See, manual testing is the base. Manual testing is the base. Without manual testing, you cannot perform any kind of testing. It might be API testing, it might be automation testing, it might be database testing, it might be performance, security, any kind of testing. You need to have manual testing first. The manual testing should be strong, should be very strong, very, very, very strong. Okay, you cannot directly jump into API, you cannot directly jump into automation, you cannot directly jump into any kind of other testing types until you have your manual testing base being very strong. Okay, now, okay, so this is clear, this is clear. Okay, now can someone tell me what is Postman? What is Postman? Why exactly it is used for? In what all ways can we use Postman?
Postman is a tool, like
Yeah,
we are
yeah, it's a
testing the.
tool. Tool
We are
for
doing the for API testing in manual.
uh,
We are doing the API testing.
only
Like
manual.
yes,
Okay, Postman tool is used for only testing only testing APIs manually, right?
yes.
No other testing can be done on Postman.
Like we can done others also. Like according to my knowledge, I know that
Uh,
Postman is used for manually doing the testing of API testing.
so now when I will start automation, which tool do you think I will be using?
Rest assured.
Why will I be using Rest Assured? I never said that I'll be teaching Rest Assured. Did I ever say that I will be teaching Rest Assured?
No.
I don't think
But
so. I don't remember that I am saying I ever said that I'll be teaching. So where exactly do you think I'll be teaching automation for API testing? Uh, sad, really sad, sad, sad. Okay. Okay. Postman can be used. Postman tool can be used for performing APIs manual testing, automation testing, performance testing, and security testing. All these testing can be done on Postman tool for APIs. Okay. Now, if I come in here, I hope the screen is visible, right?
yes, it's visible.
Okay. Uh, Now, if I open Postman and okay, if I go in here, right here, okay. This is the place where we will be using for automating our APIs. Scripts. Scripts tab is where we will be using. See, use JavaScript to write tests, visualize response, and more. So this is where we use the tab which we use for automating our APIs. And we can also perform performance testing and security testing, but not database testing. Okay, but not database testing because Postman cannot directly connect with any of the databases, any of the till now it hasn't been developed. So database testing is not possible, but performance and security is possible. Okay, so now
One more thing, like
uh,
we can previously I know like Jmeter is for performance testing, and so like all the features which are used in Jmeter, all the
uh,
features we are going to be used in Postman also or not?
okay, okay, I'll come to that point as well. I'll come to that point. Now, first thing, I never said that I will be teaching performance testing for APS. Did I? I think I said. I think I said. Uh, but yeah, I'll come to that point too. Okay. Now, uh, okay, how many types of testing do you think we can do? I mean, major testing. How many? Okay, why asking a question? Let me do it. Let me show it. Yeah. Okay. We have database testing, we have API testing, we have functional testing, we have performance testing, security testing, and mobile testing. These are the major ones. Okay, if these are the major ones which a company looks in a candidate as well. Okay, now uh, let's say let's say we are doing API testing. Okay, now in API testing, we have we have these are the architectures: REST, SOAP, and GraphQL is also getting popular these days. So we can consider GraphQL as well. And these are the tools. Okay, SOAP UI is one of the API testing tool. Postman is one of the tool. REST Assured is one of the tool. Okay, and Karate is one of the tool. Catalan Studio is one of the API testing tool. Okay, now let's say we have decided that I will be learning API testing. Okay, now when you decide that you are learning API testing, when you want to learn API testing, please concentrate only on API testing, and that too with you can take multiple architectures, that is completely fine, but with one tool, only one tool. Okay, do not jump until you have the complete information, complete knowledge of one tool. Do not jump to another tool, or do not compare with another tool. This is very, very important. The reason being, first, you will get confused. Second, you will lose interest. Third, you will think that is more easy than this tool. Okay, so these things should never be approached. If you want to learn, let's say I'm teaching Postman. Okay, if you want to learn REST Assured, then be on REST Assured. Do not compare with Postman, or do not touch Postman tutorial at all, or do not touch SOAP UI tutorial at all. And when you're learning one testing, do not think about other testings at all. That is also a very important thing, very, very important thing, because you will miss this completely. You will forget these things completely. You'll forget how to perform this. Mostly you'll forget it, and then you'll jump into other testing areas, which is really not recommended. Same goes with functional testing. If you are on Selenium, learn Selenium completely. With any of the programming language, you can take any of the programming language. You can take Java, C sharps, and JavaScript, Python, anyone. But make sure you learn it completely. Then once you're confident, yes, I can automate any web application using Selenium. Any area I can automate, then jump into Playwright or Cypress, whichever you want to jump into. Like Tricentis, Tosca is also getting popular these days. Catalan Studio is one of the, I mean, AIML. It is using artificial intelligence in order to go ahead and perform functional automation testing. So first, first the very base is, should be very strong. Okay, I'm telling it once again. It should be very, very strong. Your manual testing basics, manual testing, not basics, manual testing should be very strong. Once you have this manual testing area being very strong, then make sure because this is where you will get to know how to create any test cases. In when you're creating test scenarios and test cases, that is where you will get to know the flow, how exactly a flow is created in any of the testing types. Like, it might be database testing, API testing, functional testing, performance testing, security testing, or mobile testing. And one more very important thing: database is not access is not provided to the testers in all the companies. This is a very important thing. Okay, if you're stressing on database testing, learning database testing, I highly recommend to keep it at a very low level, very, very low level. The reason being, database access is not given to testers in all the companies, because they think that if we give access to the testers, they might they might spoil the database, or they might corrupt the database. And I can say it, it's sad, but almost I can say it is true. The reason being, there are many things in database. Okay, there are stored procedures, triggers, and views, and queries. And if we run any particular query, a delete query, or any query which is not acceptable, and if it has been ran and successfully, it can corrupt the whole database. And if there is no backup of the database taken, then there's no way that we can get the real data back again. So that is the reason most of the companies doesn't provide database access to the testers. Okay.
Yes, Ashish, actually they don't test they don't give the database, but they give the dummy database for testing.
Dummy
But
database.
mm,
Yes, Nadia. The dummy database is given, but also not all companies doesn't provide it. Not all companies provide it. I mean, in I can give my own company's example, where uh, we worked for six and a half years. Okay, we got access to the database. The test lead got access to the database after 4 years. After 4 years working in the project, then we got an access. So
yeah.
there might be couple of questions in database when you're working, when you're attending an interview. So it is completely okay. That is why I said, I mean, go to that W3 schools or somewhere, and you can find out. You can just go to Google and find for a couple of database questions, interview questions, and those, you can just mug up, and you can just answer them in the interviews. So for 10%, I mean, in 100% of questions, 10% will be asked for database. So it's really, I mean, rather than database, if you know API testing, if you know functional testing, if you know performance testing, security, mobile testing, if you more concentrate on them now, it will be very, very useful. Very useful. Manual as well as automation side. Both sides. Okay. So database, yes, but keep it to the minimal. That dummy database as well, um, when you're adding a product, or when you're creating an account, if that account is not added to the real database, if that data is not added to the real database and it is getting added to the dummy database, then there is no point of testing the database, because we need to see if that data is correctly, uh, I mean, the information is correctly entered in all the columns, and the information is entered, what they say, I mean, if it is a number, it should be a number. If it is sequence of characters, then it should be a sequence of characters in that particular column. These things should be tested in the real database. In the dummy database, we can test it, but I don't see that helping anywhere. Okay, so keep it to the minimal. You can learn database testing. It is not, I'm not saying that don't learn it, but keep it at the very last.
Yeah.
Keep it at the
Es-
very last.
yeah,
Okay.
especially for remote work, they will not
Mm.
give that database testing.
Yes,
You must
uh,
be in the place, on site.
correct. In the office itself,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
in the network, in the office network. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, see, let's say you're preparing up. You're preparing jam, okay? You're preparing jam, and you have sugar with you, and you have salt as well, but you don't use salt. But somehow someone has added salt in the sugar, okay? And you have used that particular sugar in preparing jam, then jam is completely gone case. So same way, database is also same thing. I mean, you cannot play around with database. You can play around with APIs, you can play around with UI, you can play around with performance and security and mobile, but database is a base, very base, where you have all the data information. So that is the reason they think it is very risky to provide access. So keep it to the minimal. And the next thing is, yeah, in database we have the popular ones is SSMS, which is Microsoft ones, SQL Server Management Studio, and then We have MySQL, which I have provided in the group, and the query language which we use in order to test database is SQL. Okay, this is the most this is a query language which we use in in SSMS and MySQL. We use the same query language. Then API testing, we have multiple tools. Okay, go with any one of the tool. As we are on Postman, please, I request, do not compare with any other tools and do not jump into any other tools until we have done with Postman completely, manual and automation only. Okay, once you know automation, how to perform automation in Postman, then it is almost similar in Rest Assured and Karate. And I'm not sure about Catalan Studio, but Rest Assured and Karate, it's almost similar. But in Postman, we use JavaScript, but in Rest Assured and Karate, we use Java programming language. That is the only difference. Soap UI is completely different. In Soap UI, we use Groovy scripting language in order to automate APIs. It is not Java, it is not JavaScript, it's not Python, it's not C Sharp. It's Groovy scripting. Okay, so Soap UI, and we are not most of the companies are not using Soap UI as of now because it is a paid tool. So many have been transformed to Postman, and Rest Assured and Karate in some companies they do use. Okay, but the base is one tool. Learn one tool, manual and automation, then jump into another tool. Do not think there is only one tool in the world which is for API testing. Think in that way and learn it. Now, coming to functional testing as well, there are multiple testing tools and multiple languages you can write coding in this. I say JavaScript is the best. I say JavaScript is the best. The reason being, JavaScript can be used in Postman. JavaScript can be used in Playwright. JavaScript can be used in Cypress. I think in Selenium as well, JavaScript can be used. I'm not sure. Uh, so JavaScript is mostly common in most of the tools. Most of the tools. But if you know Java, then you can use Java for Rest Assured, Selenium, Playwright, but not Cypress. Cypress doesn't support Java. Cypress supports only JavaScript. So if you're learning something in functional testing as well, go with only one tool and one language. Think there is only one tool in the world which can do functional testing. Once you know Selenium, it's the same. See, if in Selenium, if you know how to open a website, uh, writing a code, how to open a website, it will be the same in Playwright, similar, not same, similar in Playwright and Cypress as well. If you are, if you're making sure that the title of the web page is same as we are expecting in Selenium, it will be almost similar in Playwright and Cypress. But if you learn Selenium half and then jump into Playwright, then it will confuse you completely. Then you will forget the beginning and you will also forget what exactly you're doing. Same goes with Postman. If you're learning Postman and then jumping into Rest Assured or Karate or something, then you will forget here as well, the Postman as well, and you will also have confusion in Rest Assured. So go with one tool and go with one language. Then performance testing. Okay. Now, what I say is in Postman, we can do performance testing. We have an option to do performance testing for APIs. But the best tool in the market to do API testing, open source tool, I can say open source tool to do API testing is JMeter. Okay, I will teach API testing, how to perform performance testing on JMeter. So LoadRunner is a paid tool, so that is the reason we cannot use it. Gatling and K6 also we have. K6 is also is really good. K6 is also an open source tool. But when you're learning any tool, okay, I said go with JMeter, because JMeter, once you know JMeter, then you can work on Gatling K6. It's almost similar, and it's you will understand the concepts and the topics as well. But first go with one tool, and JMeter uses Java. Okay, JMeter uses Java for scripting, and it also uses Bean Shell and Groovy scripting as well. So Groovy scripting is more popular in JMeter when you are writing, automating the performance testing. Same goes with security, where you have Burp Suite, which I can say more popular. And then mobile testing, you can APM for mobile testing. I can say APM is the only tool. It's the only tool that we need to learn. Mobile testing, it's only APM is the tool which we need to learn. It has manual automation, everything. Why exactly I'm saying this all information is because I have seen like when we are learning Postman, okay, we want to also learn database testing. We also want to connect it with the performance testing or with the security testing, or we take some of the topics or from the functional testing and we try to implement in Postman, or from Rest Assured we try to implement in Postman. Please don't do that. It will really make your life complicated. It will really make your life complicated. When you're learning any tool, first understand the concepts. First understand how exactly can I work on this tool. How exactly can I test manual testing on this tool. Then how exactly can I do a not performance automation testing on this tool. Okay, then once you're completely confident, then go for other things. Okay, let's say I have added there's okay, let's go with the Facebook only. There's an API to create an account. So we did create an account from API. Okay. So from API, manually or automatically, we have created an account for one random account in Facebook. So API testing is done. We got to know that account is created successfully and we got the ID. Now, how exactly we do the functional testing? We go to the Facebook website and we will enter the information over there. Then we will see if that account is created or not. So if the account is created, then the test is passed. If the account is not created, then the test is failed. So that is how we do functional testing. Once API is done, then we do functional testing. Once we perform the functional testing, then we jump into the database testing if and only if we have access to it. If we have access to it, we go to the Facebook account table. There will be a table created for Facebook accounts. We go in there and we see our first name has our first name, last name has our last name. We have the integer, which is the number. We have the number under age and height, everything. So all that we do in the database testing. Then performance. Now, for the single account, we don't do performance testing. We can ignore it. And security testing, yes. Like, why exactly we need security testing when we are creating an account? Let's say we are entering our card details. That card details should not be visible to anyone or everyone in the world, which will really make like it will be a problematic thing. So we will also perform the security testing, mobile testing, if and only if uh, it is asked for. If it is asked for, like we have to do a mobile testing, then only we can go for mobile testing, or else it is really not required. It's performance and mobile testing is we can ignore it. But this is what we usually do. This is what we usually do. Okay, and so that is a thing which I wanted to discuss. So when we are don't don't learn multiple tools or multiple languages or multiple testing areas at the same time. It will be really problematic. Yes, you can learn manual testing. Along with manual testing, you can learn API testing or functional testing, performance testing, security testing. That is completely fine. But do not bind database and API, or API and functional performance and security, or something like this. Do not bind them you until you're confident. Yes, I can do API testing on Postman. Any APIs that have been provided to me, I can do a manual and automation testing. Until you're confident, please do not jump to other things. Okay. Uh, and what else? What else? What else? What else? I wanted to discuss, which is not required. Now, Yeah. Okay, we got to know, okay, Postman tool, and we got to know the layers as well. Uh, okay, anyone has any questions? Anyone has any? Okay, now, okay, one more important thing. When we are starting automation, if you know any programming language, please forget it. Please forget it. Like, think that you never learned any programming language. It might be Java, JavaScript, C, C Sharp, anything. Okay, please make sure that you don't know any programming language and it is the first time that you're learning programming language. That will really make you understand the concepts and how to perform the automation testing on Postman. And okay, uh, what else? What else? Yeah, that is all. So, any questions, any doubts, any queries? And this is the link. Let me provide you this link, which will give you the idea of software testing. Okay, and also let me scroll down. Huh. There are 150 types of testing which we can perform, but we do not perform all this 150 types of testing. But yeah, so these are the tests, and I think that is all. This, if you go to this website, you can see a number of tools which can be used for API testing. You can have a number of tools we have, and for UI testing we have a number of tools, and performance testing we have a number of tools. And so these everything we do have multiple tools, but first we need to have understand we have to have confidence in one tool, then you can move to the next tool. And nowadays, testers are expected to have this, what they say, DevOps knowledge as well. What is DevOps knowledge? Okay, can anyone say what? Can anyone say what is DevOps knowledge? What exactly is DevOps? Like, what all tools can be used in DevOps? Okay, did anyone heard about this? This is CI/CD, which is
Yes,
continuous.
yes.
Okay, what
Yes,
exactly is
yes.
that?
Continuous integration and continuous deployment. It is
Yeah,
basically
yeah, I
Jenkins.
know the full form now. Sorry.
It is doing on Jenkins.
Uh-huh. And only on Jenkins.
Whatever I know, and lots of tools are there.
Uh,
Like DevOps is also a tool, and
DevOps.
I
Which
have done
DevOps?
previously on like
Uh,
Jenkins.
okay. Yeah. So we have Azure DevOps, AWS, Azure DevOps, and
Google GCP.
Jenkins, GitHub Actions. Okay. So these all things we should know, but before knowing these things, what we should know before we come to this part, first manual, then automate. Once we automate, then we send it to DevOps tool. Then we send it to DevOps for CI/CD, continuous. And in there is one more thing in between this DevOps CI/CD, there is one more testing which we can perform, which is on command line tool. On command line tool, which we can perform testing. For API, it is Newman. Okay. For API, it is Newman. Newman is the software which we use for API. I mean for Postman and API. So we have a different tools which we can use. I think for JMeter we have. Uh, I think we don't have any specific tool for it. We can directly run the commands. We can directly run the commands, and it will run the test plans on the command line tool. Um, so only, so this is how we do. I mean, first manual, then automate, then command line tool. Command line tool is optional. If you want to know, then you can do it. Um, If you want to learn, then you can learn it. It's really good. Huh? It's really good. Then comes DevOps. DevOps is where you can use Jenkins, GitHub Actions, Azure DevOps, AWS. These all tools can be used. So this is what is. How should I come in here? This is what is. It is okay. So this is what called as SDET. Okay. So the companies are looking in the same way. Like we need to do manual testing and we need to do, automate testing. Automate we in I mean, we can, they might ask any tool with any programming language. So if you know one tool with one programming language, you can say that I know this tool and I can learn another tool with another programming language because it will be very similar and it will be, I'll not have problem in it. So always make sure that you are strong in one programming language and one tool for one area of testing. Okay. So that is the reason. Don't jump and don't compare and don't complicate things. Okay. Uh, learn things. Learn other areas. But the main tool which you are learning, give it more time and make sure that you are giving. Practicing it a lot. And I'm pretty sure. Okay. I did ask about. Now let me see how many have done this. Okay. I did ask about creating a positive flow for REQ RES. How many have done this? And it was not in yesterday's session, I'm pretty sure. Day before session.
I've done, but not in positive flow. All these like put, post, get, delete. All this method I have tried, but
That was done in very long time back, Gautam. We did put all these things into one folder, one collection, and we have done. I asked for a positive flow. I want an answer for that thing, not I have not for the one which I haven't asked.
yes, yes.
Uh,
Actually, I'm randomly tried, not in positive flow. Okay.
so practice is really important. If you don't have practice and if you try to move forward, it is really difficult. It will be now it is completely fine, but when you are working in a real project, when you're working in a company, and if you don't know how to create a positive flow or a negative flow, or how to, how to create a flow which including, combining a positive and negative flow, it will be really, really, really hard, really tough for you. It's really serious. It's a real serious thing. You That is the reason I asked, do practice, please practice. Okay. You have to give time. I understand you might have everyone might have a lot of things in their daily life to do. But when you're learning something, give at least 1 to 2 hours leaving the class, leaving the session, 1 to 2 hours in practicing it. Or else once we start automation and once we are done with the performance, my job is done. But if you don't practice, then it will be really difficult for everyone. It will be difficult for everyone. And I just asked for the positive flow, to create a positive flow. And it's manual testing is done. To be honest, manual testing is done, and we are still not able to create a positive flow, which is really sad. So I don't know what more to say. Okay. Okay then. That is all from my end. Any questions? Any queries?
No, Ashish.
Okay. Okay. And is anyone learning apart from? Okay, I just want to ask. Uh, leave about database testing. Leave about database testing. Uh, is anyone learning any other testing apart from API testing? Anyone learning any other testing?
Any other testing means like I am
Um,
working on like Selenium and
uh-huh. Uh,
Manuals.
okay, manual
yes,
testing
manual.
is important. Okay, leave manual
Yes,
as
yes.
well and database as well. Okay, apart from
Hmm.
that, anyone learning this? Yeah, automation testing or performance testing, security testing or mobile testing?
Hmm.
Anyone?
No, no.
No. Okay, Gautam, you're the only one who is learning Selenium, right?
No,
Selenium
me
and
too. Me.
mm,
Yes.
Who, sorry, who
mo-
is learning Selenium?
Me.
Okay. Okay. Now I have one. Let me give this. This might really help if you're learning. Give you this series. Okay.
yes, actually, I'm looking for like framework things because Selenium
Yeah,
all
yeah.
methods I
Framework
have
is covered
completed.
in this.
Mm.
Framework is covered in this.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Actually, I like when I'm trying to get some framework kind of things like trainer to trainer, it is different, like little bit changes,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
website to
Definitely it
website.
will be
Yes,
different. Definitely it will be different.
so
Definitely
that's
the
why.
way of teaching is will be different. So what I suggest, I have given one link, okay, a
Mm-hmm.
video
Okay.
series link.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it. Watch it, okay? It's
Okay.
really good. Really, really, really good. Okay. And he
Ragopal, na?
teaches Haragopal. He
Yes, yes.
teaches really good.
Mm.
If you're following this SDET Pavan, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Already, like I am following
Yeah,
since 2 to 3 years.
okay, I say leave him aside and
Mm.
watch this series. Okay, watch the
Mm.
series because his videos are very lengthy, like 1 to 2 hours. It's I mean
Yes,
he
yes,
teaches
definitely,
really
and
good.
and
He
he's
teaches
he's
really good.
uh,
But if you want to know, like first know how exactly a thing is created and how exactly a framework is created, what exactly is a framework, and so basics if you know, then you can go for lengthy videos,
mm.
descriptive videos. Okay, but first to know, just make sure that you use this. Just see if you like it or not. Just see,
No, no,
follow
definitely
one two
it is
videos.
more useful. Actually, it is a new series he has
Yeah,
started.
one new series.
It is,
So see
and
one
I'm
two.
already I am follow on like Udemy also. His courses is good. Like
Go with
some.
one videos,
Mm-hmm.
Gautam. Go with
Mm-hmm.
one video. Don't go with
Mm-hmm.
multiple videos because
Yes,
every
yes, I
trainer
know.
has his own way of teaching.
Yes, yes.
Then
So
you
that's
will,
why I'm little bit confusion
yeah,
with
don't do
like
that.
framework things,
Don't do that.
that
Don't do
which
that.
standard I
Yeah.
follow. So,
Always
mm.
one tool, one programming language, one one teacher. Okay.
Yes,
Don't
yes,
go with multiple teachers. You for English, if you in your school for English you had only one teacher, right? English language, or you had
yes,
10
yes.
teachers for one
No, no,
language,
one.
one teacher, right? So go with
Mm-hmm.
one teacher. Okay, go with one teacher, and
Mm-hmm.
this is a real good series. Go with Selenium. Anyone who
Mm-hmm.
wants to learn Selenium, just watch
Mm-hmm.
one to couple of videos and see how it goes. If you don't like it, then you can move to any other series. That is
No, no, no.
completely
I'm
fine.
I'm
No,
already
no, no.
like looking
I'm
for.
just saying. I'm saying for
Actually,
everyone.
you are
Uh,
providing like manual things, manual testing with Jira, and it is really good. But it
mm,
is little bit like previous things,
mm,
not updated ones. But things are almost same. But
uh,
version to version, little bit changes are there. But
yeah.
it is really really good, really good.
Okay, if it is not good, also I don't mind
No, no,
because
no, no.
it is, it is like
Not like
I'm
that.
just giving.
Like from core of my heart, I like it
Yeah,
is really good. Like it
yeah,
is in short span of time we can learn. We can if we follow, then we can
huh,
definitely get some things.
yeah. And follow one teacher. If
Mm-hmm.
you like only one teacher, then go with Pavan Kumar or go with Rahul Shetty or Raghopal, anyone. But go with one teacher, okay?
And
And
I'm already following, but instead of them, like I would like to follow you because I
no,
know
don't
you.
follow me. Don't
No,
No,
follow
no,
me.
Ashish.
you are as you
Ashish,
know
what
as
happened?
Uh,
See, what happened? Like
uh,
after teaching you the Postman APIs,
mm,
so I know for us, like for me, time. I usually put time like like when you gave me gave us 1 week off. So
mm,
yes, we tried, and I
mm,
am like I'm not saying I'm 100%, but whereas I in understanding I
mm,
am 30%. So I'll be very honest with you. Okay, but I am day by day I'm listening your videos, listening, and
mm,
after that I try see word because your one video I can say I take 3 hours, because
mm,
when I do not understand I play again, I when I do not understand play again, and
mm,
I do in this way. So that's why it take more time
Yeah,
after
yeah, that is
listening it to
completely fine.
implement.
Mm.
Yes,
That is completely
No,
fine.
actually,
yes,
your video
but
is more
yes,
informative and
yeah.
more more researchable. Like
Hmm.
it is
Mm.
from scratch. You are giving hand holding support from scratch.
Hmm.
So it is and definitely
but
actually
but what I say, so until I am not 100% good on API, this postman, I won't go. I do not want to go on another things and jump here and there. So firstly I want to see myself perfect on postman first. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm good enough, you can ask anything, we can do it, we can start working with it, then only I can start another job. So I'm so honest with you.
Yeah, but keep
Mm.
learning manual testing. Do not stop learning manual testing. Manual testing is a
Mm.
base. Do not stop
Okay.
manual testing.
yes,
Okay,
yes, it
learning
is a
manual
base.
testing. It
Mm.
is a base. Okay,
Yes.
Mm.
and
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
there's one more thing which I wanted to share. I think we did discuss about this. When you go to a collection, okay, create new
Mm.
collection. Click
Mm.
on this. I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes. Yes.
visible.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
go to this view more templates. Here, let me do it once again. Click view more templates. Here you have quality engineers section. Okay, click on
Mm.
this. Here you have templates, end-to-end testing, API testing basics, regression testing, functional testing. Do not select performance testing. Okay, it is not required. I don't suggest this. Okay, integration, and pull these
Lots of
templates,
things are almost lots of things are here.
pull this templates into your collection and see how exactly they have been created, how exactly the flow has been created for this. Then you can go to this testing section. Here also you will find end-to-end testing, API scenario testing, integration testing basics, integration testing example, contract test. Contract, don't go for contract testing because contract testing is mostly done by developers, so we need not to worry about it. Response snapshot testing. Okay, now I'll show you an example. Once we pull this, let me click on one of the thing and we can use this template. We can click on this use template, which will be pulled to our collection. Now, if I go to my collection where I pulled it, huh, I pulled regression testing here. When I expand it, then it shows me the flow, how exactly the flow has been created. If you go to regression testing, and read the complete documentation, then the documentation also provides you how and when and why and where exactly this was created and what was the reason and all this, why regression testing, and what is the flow, what should be the flow, and how exactly it should be created. It's just a template, okay, it's just an example, but you'll get an idea. You'll get an idea. So how do you do it? You go to plus icon, view more templates, either quality
Okay.
engineers or testing. Okay, and then pull these things into your.
On
Just
both
click
section,
on
is it same or like
same,
different?
same, same, same,
Okay.
same. Click on
And
use
one
template. Huh.
okay, one more thing, like if we choose one template, so
Hmm.
it is by default coming, or we have to create it the work
No,
like
no, no.
flow.
It will directly pulled into your collection.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
So we
Okay,
need
just
to select the collection first. So in which collection we are working, and then
huh.
only it will be
Yeah,
pulled.
the
Okay.
just select the workspace. Go to the
Okay.
workspace,
Okay.
then click on plus icon. Okay, you can
Mm.
create a work. I mean a blank workspace as well.
Mm.
Next and test. Okay, create. And here as well, click on the plus icon, view more templates, testing, end-to-end testing, use template.
Mm.
This will be pulled into your
Okay.
workspace.
Okay.
Okay. Then you can
Okay.
see okay how the flow. See, there's a flow created and there's a flow created. Invalid. This is a negative scenario. This is a positive scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is how you can see. It's just an example. Okay. These templates are just an example. In the same way, you can create your own APIs with the same positive and negative flow, and you can combine them as well. You can combine them as well. Okay. This was I forgot about this completely. Okay, so that is all for today. Any
Okay.
questions? Any
No.
queries? Any doubts?
No.
Great.
Yeah.
So let me stop
So from
presenting.
today, sorry, tomorrow onwards,